Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Ask Amy. Today I have a question from Tori. Tori says, first of all, I'm so grateful that I found your book this weekend. I finished it in one sitting and I already feel like a different person. She's talking about the little book of big change. I've struggled with binge eating disorder my entire life. I binged every day this week after some sad news and was feeling so lost. After listening to your book, today I haven't binged at all and it's been easy. I will continue to do nothing, but I'm hopeful that this new insight is just what I have needed my whole life. I do have a question though. So, first, just I'll get to your question, Tori, but let me just say that's awesome. I think this happens a lot is we come across something that's new and different and points us in a different direction and your mind kind of falls quiet. Like it's kind of like showing your mind like whoa, like everything we thought was true and the way that we thought things worked, this book and this conversation questions that. It starts to get you to question that. So it's not uncommon at all to have an experience like you're having where all of a sudden your mind falls quiet. And when your mind falls quiet, there it's easy. Like you said, there's just nothing to do, nothing to manage. Now, I just want to say, I don't want to be a downer about this, but I just want to say, like when you say, I'm hopeful this is the new insight, it's just what I've needed my whole life, it doesn't mean your mind's not going to talk again. So this conditioned habitual stuff, in fact, in the time since you sent me this question, guessing you've seen this, you've noticed it, right? Like thought comes back up. This is not a magic pill. It's not a magic bullet, but it is. But what you experienced is showing you what's there. What you experienced is showing you, hey, this is your nature when your mind falls quiet. So thought will come back. Old conditioned thought will come back almost always without exception. But that's amazing because that just gives us more opportunity to kind of be with it from this new way of seeing it and this new understanding of it. And then we see what we see. Okay? So I just want to say, I don't want to be a downer about it, but it's not like a magic wand and now you're never going to have a thought again about binge eating. It just doesn't tend to work that way, but it's kind of good news that it doesn't work that way. You get to keep seeing it more and more deeply. And by the way, this has nothing to do with binge eating. So this is thought, period. Thought in life, period. So it applies to everything. Okay, so here's the question. I've binged since I was 4 years old. My mom told me she remembers me eating bowl after bowl of cinnamon toast crunch, and when she would make cookies, I would eat the entire batch when she was out of the room. I've always told myself I have this disorder because I've always had an addiction to sugar. You speak about how children don't have these issues, or tend to not, I think is what I say, because they don't think about their thoughts. True. But I was binging since such a young age. I still feel like there's hope that I can get rid of this habit, but is there not also a physical addiction at play here? I struggle after a few days of not binging because I think my body is going through sugar withdrawal. I get headaches, fatigue, anxiety, etc., and the sugar cravings are so intense. The thoughts, in addition to the sugar withdrawal symptoms, make it so hard. I know my thoughts are the majority of the issue here, but is it wrong to assume that I'll still have to white knuckle to overcome the physical sugar cravings for a while? Or am I not fully seeing this correctly and you're saying there actually are no physical cravings? Okay, so it's a great question. Great question, Tori. So, yes, we aren't, but we experience this mind body thing, right? As physical human beings, there is physical stuff. There's this, we can call it this mind body. It's one thing, right? This mind body machine, and it's very conditioned and very habitual. And yeah, when you've been eating a lot of sugar, anybody, right? We've been eating a lot of sugar, and then suddenly we stop. It makes sense that it may be part of your experience that you have the stuff that you're talking about, fatigue and headaches and anxiety. All of that, I just want you to see, Tori. This isn't a Tori issue. This isn't like, oh, there's something wrong or there's a problem. It's like saying if you don't, change the oil in your car, at some point that machine or your vehicle is going to run into some problems. This is kind of like, just think of this, that's not a perfect metaphor or anything. I'm just saying, like, think of what's happening here as just a machine. You give it sugar, 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 sugar. Add into that, your mind says, I need this, I'm addicted to it, I need it, I'm addicted to it. you're going to feel some stuff, perhaps, if you do, when you stop eating all the sugar. So, not at all saying that there's no physical things that happen. For sure, there are physical things that happen. Now, here's the important part, though, the part where this is different. When you talk about having to white knuckle your way to overcome the physical sugar cravings for a while, this is what I want you to see. You can have experience. You can have withdrawal, you can have fatigue, you can feel anxiety, you can have all that physical experience, emotional even, psychological experience can show up. And that is not you. You, Tori, real you can be okay in that experience. You are okay in that experience. There is no other option. We are always okay. We are like the sky, as I write about in the book, where the weather's rolling through and it's not really touching us. Now, the problem is we don't know that. So when we're in there, as we all innocently are to some extent, saying, oh my gosh, here it is. This is so horrible. This feels so uncomfortable. This is my sugar addiction coming out in full force. And this is so hard and it's so painful. And it's me, mine. That's hard. That is hard. You still don't have to whiten out. Like it's still coming and going, right? You're still okay. You're still totally untouched. It's just a physical experience, but it's going to feel like hell. Like it's hard. It's going to feel hard, right? It's going to feel personal. You're going to probably resist because that's what that is. Oh no, here it is. You're going to get tighter. You're going to resist. It's going to feel that much stronger because you're trying to push it away. You're calling it me and mine. You're thinking, I've had this my whole life and why? And that makes it harder. So it's really interesting. Like the experience, the fact of it is the same. The stuff that's happening physically, it's going to come and go. It's not going to stay around forever. It works its way through. This is always true of all experience, Tori. No matter what, any emotion, any physical withdrawal like this is the nature of life, not even just of human beings. I mean, look out in nature. Like this is the nature of life. It's all moving. But we, with our little brains, get really attached to everything. So we start thinking this one's not, and this long, and we're in our memory, and we're in the future, wondering how long this will last, and that's what makes it feel like it's not moving. It's what makes it feel really, really horrible, even though, like, whether you know this or not, it's still going to move right through you. So see if you can kind of get a sense of how everything physical is going to be whatever the heck it is, but you can have an infinite number of experiences of this same physical stuff. I've said this many times, like when I quit smoking, like, I don't know, almost 20 years ago now, I had all kinds of horrible physical withdrawal symptoms. But by the time, this was like my third time quitting smoking, by this time, the time that stuck when I really quit, I was so ready to be done that in some weird way, without knowing any of this or anything, in some weird way, I kind of welcomed them. I was like, oh, I knew this one was coming. I'm really fuzzy. Okay, this is all the drugs and nicotine leaving my body. This is the last little desire for that drug. It's just got to come up and be expressed and it's going to move. And every day I would have physical symptoms, but like I don't know that they always felt easier. I mean, over time they for sure did. But I just kind of saw this as like a purge in a way. Like, okay, this is fine. That means it's working. I'm done. I'm not going back. And there was this weird way in which like I almost looked forward to these because I saw it as, yeah, I can handle this physical stuff. It's going to happen either way. But it felt like a good thing. So I'm not saying to think of it like that, but I want you to see that that is possible. Like that happens. And the only thing there is that I didn't see it as this big me, my problem that I was resisting and pushing against. I kind of welcomed it. I knew it was what was supposed to happen, and it just was what it was. So, in a way, like, see that that's a possibility, and the only difference is kind of not resisting and not pushing it away and not seeing it as your problem. So, when we see things in a very generalized way, which is how we mostly do, especially when we're in our heads and we're believing everything our mind tells us. Like when we aren't curious or kind of inquiring into like, what is this thought thing? Like we're just sort of taking it all at face value. Our mind generalizes a lot. It needs to, because it's taken in a ton of information and it just wants to be efficient and keep you alive. So it will generalize, and it'll say things like, this is my lifelong sugar addiction. Yeah, this is what happens when you have withdrawal symptoms. Like, you're not saying that, but this is how your mind is framing it to you. Like, oh, here come the symptoms, and you've had this for life, and it's going to be hard. That's a highly generalized way of seeing things. When we start to shift kind of our point of view, our identity, when we aren't in there with the thoughts thinking those are us and ours, when we are the space within which thought shows up and then falls away, everything appears and then disappears. Like when we're that bigger space, there's room, there's so much less stickiness and us involved. And it's like you can have a headache, you can feel a little worried or nervous or feel a little anxiety, but it's almost like there's a space there, and you're kind of like, oh, this is arising. It's not my sugar addiction. It's like, oh, a headache is here, a little worry is here, a little antsiness is here. Totally, totally different experience of the exact same thing. And that's nothing you need to do or manage. It comes from our perspective changing. It comes from continuing to explore what you started in that book, which is just not even scratching the surface. Not even scratching the surface of how deep this gets. So listen to my podcast, like listen to other things, keep exploring, because it gets much deeper than that book. But that starts to open the door, for you to see things in this other way. I have a podcast episode. I don't know what number it is, but it's called, I think, I don't know, something about generalizing in anxiety. How generalizing, I don't know, something about generalizing anxiety. Sorry. I think it was from June this year, June 2021. Um, it says anxiety in the title, but I also talk about habits and binge eating and other things in there. And I think that'll be really helpful because it really shows how our mind wants to say, this is my sugar addiction, versus what's really going on is just some sensations and some thoughts. When it's sensations and thoughts, there's nothing to white knuckle. And you know what? Even if you do feel like you're white knuckling in a moment, so what? It doesn't matter. That's not a bad thing. Like the next moment comes and maybe you see different. So it's not like that's a horrible thing either. So I hope this is helpful. I gave you a lot, I know, but keep listening because really the little book of big change is great, but it's just like a baby step to kind of open the door to a much deeper way of seeing things. So you're doing awesome already, and I hope it continues. And let me know how you're doing. So thank you everyone for listening. I'll see you back here next Monday.